New Jersey Transit train operators went on strike at 12:01 a.m. on Friday after coming to an impasse in collective bargaining with the New Jersey Transit Authority. It's the train operators in New Jersey Transit are looking for pay parity. They want to get the same salary and wages, or equivalent salary and wages, to operators that operate on other train lines, for example, Amtrak train operators. And those trains pull in and out of the same stations, right? They're pulling in and up to the same station stops, letting passengers on and off. But the New Jersey Transit train operators are making considerably less pay. So they want to, have parity with their peers. Now, on the other side, what you have on the New Jersey Transit side and the government side is they don't want to have to increase costs or fares for riders, or they don't want to increase taxes in order to pay for those salaries. But the union, again, returns and says, well, the company has spent a lot of money on new corporate headquarters. They have very high executive salaries. So it's not a matter of the employees being overpaid. It's a matter of how New Jersey Transit is choosing to use its resources. That's really going to determine whether the fares are going to go up in the end. Well, today, Friday, is a commuter day, but on Fridays, typically a lot of workers will work remotely if possible. There's still a lot of hybrid work arrangements since COVID. Over the weekend, it's going to impact people more that are going on leisure trips in and out of the city, but I think Monday will be the real true test of a true commuting day, a day when they have the full contingent of people expecting to get on a train and go into New York City and go into Manhattan to go to work Monday morning. I think it's going to be a much more significant impact. Yeah, this really is his first test, right, to see how is the Trump administration really going to act when workers decide to stand together and fight for higher wages and a better quality of living. Because a lot of folks voted for him because of his rhetoric around those issues, right? The high inflation, before the election, the rising inequality, et cetera. Will he stand on the side of workers, or will he take the side of the employer? And I think history has showed us that he's always been on the employer side, but his rhetoric has been very much lately around the populist side. There's a large public support for unions right now, so I think that's the first thing to consider when workers are standing up and fighting against what are perceived as greedy bosses or against the government. Then people are generally supportive of that. They like to see that. They want more of that. I think the real question is going to be when we see the strike dragging on for many days and it's starting to inconvenience people's lives, how much the support will continue. Well, technology is always a factor at play. Whether the workers go on strike or not, employers are always considering ways to cut labor costs, right? If they're trying to make a profit, corporations are always finding ways to squeeze those costs out of labor, because labor is typically the most expensive input into any business, private or public sector, right? So companies are always finding ways through technology to reduce the workforce or to increase the efficiency of the workforce, to make fewer people do more, right? I don't know that a strike necessarily is going to trigger that, but I do think that it's coming at a time when those threats are very tangible and real, especially with the rise of AI. We're starting to see those threats not only to just menial jobs like working on repetitive tasks like we used to see on assembly lines, which were largely replaced with automation and robots, but we're starting to see AI affecting white-collar jobs and jobs where we traditionally thought people had more security because they had some kind of writing skills or some knowledge of some particular topics, and now we're seeing that technology is even threatening those jobs. So